Okay, guys, I'm a little nervous to do this because I don't know how it's going to turn out, and this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. So I'm going to, in real time, tell you maybe a little bit, or hopefully this will help you um, be able to analyze your own poem. So this is how I would do it, going through the big six. So this is a poem, I Remember by Thomas Hood. And first things first is we're going to look at the title. That's the first thing. So I Remember is the title, and we're going to highlight it in orange. And if I were doing this in class, I would probably also highlight all the parts, like all of these different things, so that we can see how often he says, I remember. So something interesting, I guess, is that it basically leads off each stanza. So if I'm going to make a comment here, just for myself, is that this title leads every stanza. So a stanza is this would be a stanza. Every line, these are all lines, and these are stanzas. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stanzas in this poem. So that's something that I'm noting from the title. I also want to also add every stanza that this is going to be a memory poem. Be a memory poem. He is talking about what he remembers, maybe from childhood. Okay, so something like that. So that's what I'm going to write as the beginning. Then we're going to look at the speaker. So who is the speaker? Where I was born, the little window, so where I was born, he never came peeping in morn, he never came a wink too soon, nor brought a day too long, but now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. The roses, I used to. So he's talking in first person. So just something to note, so that's first person, maybe we'll go pink. He never came a wink too soon. I wonder what that is when I'm looking at it. Again, the violets, and my brother. So we're finding a little bit more about the author, or the speaker, the speaker. I guess normally what I would do probably first is read the poem out loud. So maybe I should start there. So I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun came peeping in at morn. He never came a wink too soon, nor brought too long a day, but now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. The rose, I remember, the roses red and white, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made of light. The lilacs where the red robin built, and where my brother sat, the labyrinth on his birthday, the tree is living yet. I remember where I used to swing, and thought the air must rush afresh to swallows on the wing. My spirit flew in feathers then, that is so heavy now, and summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. I remember the fir trees dark and high. I used to think their slender tops were close against the sky. It was a childish ignorance, but now 'tis little joy to know I'm farther off from heaven than when I was a boy. Okay, so again, we know a little bit more about the speaker now that we've read it. So he kind of is talking about his childhood, growing up, his brother, so we know he has a family, how he used to play outside. But then it kind of takes this darker turn as we go to the last couple stanzas. So this is interesting, okay? So we found out a little bit more about this speaker, right? I used to swing. My spirit flew in feathers then, that is so heavy now. Okay. And the fir trees dark and high, I used to think their slender tops were close against the sky. It was childhood ignorance, but now 'tis little joy to know I'm farther off from heaven than when I was a boy. So this is interesting. I'm not going to put a comment there. I'm going to put this. I'm going to maybe highlight that in yellow because that's a little different. Okay, so the theme. What would we say the theme is? The universal, something universal about this poem. Maybe we could say that it's kind of about losing your childhood innocence or growing up or remembering things from childhood a little bit differently than what actually happened, because he's talking about the fir trees. He used to think their slender tops could, like, were so close against the sky, but now things are a little bit different. So we get this, he is obviously an adult now, but he's remembering when he was a little boy and quite young. Okay? So that there are many possibilities for a theme that you could pick as long as you justify it. Tools. So this is where it would get a little interesting, where we could maybe pick out some things once you guys have done a little bit of refresher on the tools. But you could think of, is there anything here? He never came a wink too soon. So he's referring here, I think, to the sun. Came peeping in at morn, and he never came a wink too soon. So can the sun wink? No. So this is an example of personification. So when we give human-like qualities to things that are not human, so a sun can't wink. So that's something that we could add. Those flowers, same with those flowers made of light. Are flowers made of light? No. So we're comparing kind of two things, right? So this is a metaphor. The flowers are being compared almost to light, right? What does this word mean? If I don't know what something means, I might, what does this mean? And I would look it up if I don't know. Where I used to swing through the air must rush as fresh to swallows on the wing. This is very good imagery. I mean, I don't know if we can really classify that as like a figure of speech or anything, but it's really, really nice imagery. Summer pools could hardly cool. This is an internal rhyme. So we could say internal rhyme. What else? Fir trees dark and high, I used to think the slender tops were close against the sky. There is also a rhyme, born, morn, day, away, white, light, set, yet. So there is there is a rhyme scheme with this poem too. That's why it sounds really nice when you say it as well. The turn we've kind of identified could be these 4 lines here. The tone really changes. It was childhood ignorance. and then we would paraphrase every line and discuss what we think it means.